Hello everyone and welcome to American Firearms Network. Thank you for joining us again. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoy our show and we hope you've watched our other shows. We hope you enjoy those also. Today's topic, do I need to follow what I was taught? You have an instructor, you've been training, you're going to some classes, some private lessons, maybe one lesson. Do I need to follow it to the T? No, the answer is no. We teach principles, instructors teach you principles of how you should shoot, how you should have your stance, your sight alignment, your grip. We teach you the proper way to do it, but it doesn't mean you can't change things around a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
I agree with that totally, Todd. But there was one thing I'm going to have to put in, because you know that I'm a stickler for this. Safety. The universal safety rules never change. There are 1,000,001 ways to train, but when it comes to the universal safety rules, they are the same, regardless of where you go, what country you go, who you train with, what instructor, I don't care what it is, the universal safety rules are the same. If somebody who's training you does not focus on the universal safety rules, run and get the heck out of there. But they are very important. So like we said, Todd, there are millions of ways of training, okay? But when it comes to the safety rules, we all have to be on the same page.
Not even a question, Paul, not even a question. Safety is so important. I mean, we hear it all the time, accidents happening on the range, accidental discharges, because people are not paying attention and not following the safety rules. So safety, it's not even a question. That's something that nothing can change. But as far as learning how to shoot and an instructor is training you, yes, he's trying to train you the correct way to shoot, in the proper way to get your foundation. But once you start practicing and training, it doesn't mean you can't change your way a little bit, right? So, for example, I have a blue gun here. You're gonna go, maybe an instructor's gonna teach you, right? Grip up high, right on the trigger guard, you got both thumbs forward. Maybe that hurts your wrist. Maybe you need to come back a little bit and adjust. Okay? As long as you have a good tight grip on there, right? You can still follow that, but maybe you need to make adjustments with your hand. Some people like to shoot with the thumbs up. Okay? That's another way that people do it. Some people have the hand, they do the cup, right? I've seen that maybe twice in my life, okay? But I've seen people do it and they shoot okay, they're successful. Some people put a finger on top of the trigger guard. And there's a female shooter that's probably one of the best in the world. She uses 2 fingers on top of the trigger guard.
Right.
Okay, so the point is, you learn the fundamentals with an instructor. Those are the main ways you should do it. And a lot of people are happy how they're taught with those ways. But it doesn't mean you can't experiment, because I really believe experimentation can take you to the next level. Okay, I experiment all the time still. With maybe my stance, doing certain things with grip, whatever. I'm always trying to figure out a way. Oh my God, I changed my grip just a little bit up top. I add a little more pressure to the support hand. And you know what? I'm shooting a little bit better right now. How do I keep that? How do I remember to do that again, right?
Yeah, I think, like Todd said, everybody's different. You have to find out what works for you. I was talking to a buddy of mine today, and he was taking some lessons with an instructor further north, Jacksonville. And he was saying that the guy that's teaching him is focusing more on accuracy, and he wants to focus more on the defensive shooting part of it, some of the stuff that we teach. So, you have to find out what works for you, okay? And it doesn't matter. As long as you find out what works for you, doesn't matter how you hold the gun, as long as it works for you, okay? And you train that way. Pulling the gun out, drawing the gun out of the holster. There are different ways of people being able to do it. Like I said to you a couple of weeks ago, Todd, I have a friend that he has a holster in his back.
Great point.
And he draws from his back. I know another guy that has a holster in his ankle, and he draws from that. It doesn't matter as long as you train that way. Don't try and invent something, especially if you get yourself into a situation where you're gonna have to defend yourself. Don't try and be changing things. Work with what you know and train that way. And I think you're going to be fine.
Absolutely. So an instructor teaches you, those are the principles. It doesn't mean you can't make adjustments to make it best for you. You're only going to learn you're only going to learn how to increase shooting better if you experiment a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So if you were taught a certain way and you know what, you're not shooting good, your just shots are off, they don't look right, make those changes, you know? Maybe you adjust your stance, right? There's a lot of different ways, that you can change things and to find and explore what you're doing to make you a better shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people don't. I always make sure, even though some people are experienced. I mean, they don't know. Some people don't know their dominant eye, and I happen to say, let's just check your dominant eye. And they feel like they're shooting with their weak eye, and it's not their non-dominant eye, and that's a whole other problem, right?
That's a whole other problem. That's a whole other problem. You know, Todd, I want to say to our audience, don't get discouraged. The reason why I say that is that there are so many people on YouTube or on social media that are going to tell you to do things different. And you may be doing something and it works for you, and they may look at it and say that's nonsense. Don't get discouraged. Find out what works for you. It's so important. But one of the main things that you have to remember, whatever you decide to do, safety is the key. The universal safety rules never change. They never change. They're never going to go away. So make sure you enjoy your training, do well, find a good instructor who cares about you and how you want to train, and you'll be good. Take care. We'll see you again next week.